Hello and happy Thanksgiving and welcome to the Men at the Movies, the YouTube channel. My name's Paul McDonald, and in just a minute, I'm going to cut to a conversation between Britt and I about the movie Invincible, which we're releasing on our podcast this week, the Men at the Movies podcast. We wanted to do a football movie for Thanksgiving time, and we're in the middle of the football season, whether that's football, American football, the NFL, or we've got the World Cup going on. So worldwide soccer is going on as well right now. But Britt really found a lot of meaning in the scene that we're going to play for you today. It's the scene where Mark Wahlberg's character Vince, he's getting ready to go to the tryouts for the Eagles the next day, and he's getting back from a jog, and one of his buddies, Petey, is there waiting for him. And Petey has something he wants to say, and then Britt's going to break it down on the back end of it. But what he talks a lot about is the power of regret and also the power of leaving. Our words have power. And so see how Petey uses his power to encourage and bless Vince as he moves on to this next stage of his life.
Hey, Petey.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
Nothing. I was over at Mom's for dinner. Sunday night, you know. Figured I'd just stop and see if you was here.
You been here long?
Nah. A few minutes is all. Big day tomorrow, huh?
I mean, I guess. See what happens.
It's a good thing, Benny. No matter how long it goes. Even if it's just for a day. I never said good luck to Andrew, before he left for Nam. You do good out there, okay?
So what about that scene impacted you or touched you so deeply this time watching it?
When you get a little older, if you've lived a while, you've messed up. You have regrets, moments that you'll never get back. And you have a few different ways you can handle that. And I love the way Petey handled it, which was, I'm not going to let it happen again. I'm just not. I'm not going to, I regret it, and I'm not going to wallow in it. Maybe, but here's what I know is I'm not going to let it happen again. And he's not even going to war. He's just like going to, but he's like, I don't want you to leave me without telling you what you mean to me. And those are such powerful moments. And I think for me, it probably, if we can do a little bit of, therapy here, for me, I lived, when you live as a missionary, people are constantly leaving you.
Mm.
They're constantly leaving you.
Mm.
And especially when you do a ministry to the military. So I'm just my own personal therapy here. Like when I was in Korea, I was a teacher at a school, and I did a ministry to the military of people mostly guys, airmen and people, but they were there for usually 1 year, and I was there for 4 years. So every week someone left me that I had relationship with at the end. But that happens as a teacher, right? At the end of the school year, like people leave, they graduate, right? People you invest in move on. And it's not a fun part of life, but you can either just not deal with it. I mean, there are a lot of different ways you can deal with this, but I had to learn to bless those people as they left. I had to learn from my own character and not wanting to regret it. I had to learn how to leave well and how to let other people leave well.
Yeah.
And how to not make sure, and I think we talked about this in one of the podcasts recently. I had to make sure that I didn't let people leave me. I sent them. I wouldn't let people leave me. I would send them. And that's what God had to teach me. Not just that I had to leave well, but that when people left me, I had to make sure I said the things to them that mattered. And again, it doesn't mean they were going to war. It just meant like this time that we've had was really special. And for Johnny, and I know you're saying we'll get there, for Johnny, he had a different reaction. He had a different mentality. He had a different perspective. And he made a different choice that had to get dealt with throughout the movie. But right. For Petey and his grief for his brother, for that to change his character and go, I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm going to tell this man that I love that. And he doesn't say, I love you, but that's what he's doing, right? He's saying, I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm going to send you with a blessing. And I think that's a man thing to do. That's one of the most manly things you can do.
So as we enter this Thanksgiving and holiday season, I think what Britt was talking about is very important. The power of regret. It can drive us to shut down and withdraw, or it can cause us to improve, to get better. And that's what we see Petey do. He regrets not telling his brother good luck, goodbye, whatever, when he left for Vietnam. But instead of closing down, instead of shutting down, he uses his regret as an opportunity to get it right next time, to do better next time. And so as we look at this past year, and this is a question I put to some of the guys I do life with, is looking back over 2022, what are those things that you're thankful for? That's the easy question, right? But what are the things that you're sorrowful for? Because it's easy to focus on the thankful things, the happy times, that, man, this vacation was great. This conversation was great. This thing that happened was great. And we diminish the sorrowful things, the things that we say, man, I wish that didn't happen. But the truth is, they're two sides of the same coin. Where do they take us? Do they drive us to God, to the Father? Do they help us to move towards him, or are they causing us to move away from him? And so I think each question has to be dealt with, because the grief and the joy, the sorrow and the thanks are both have to be weighed. They both have to be counted. And that helps us as we move forward into this next time. And so as Britt said, blessing someone is one of the most manly things you can do. So I bless you as you enter this season. Bless you as you close out the previous year. I bless you as you close out the previous years. And then as you look forward into 2023, what does God have in store for you? And so hope you check out our full podcast. We talk about the different voices that Vince has, both the good and the bad. And we find out how that drives him and his motivation to get through those tough times. So check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your podcasts. Like us, share us, do all the things, subscribe. And hope you join us next time here on Men at the Movies, the YouTube channel.